Hey, how's it going? Today is 14th of February, Wednesday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities are available there. It's just something that I was taking a look at. That's would be Sports England, right? So that would be set up body by government charter, right? And where they're looking to improve situation, right? And they're looking to raise, from what I understand, right? Just put things straight, right? They're looking to raise capital in any way possible, which is great. I'm there. I'm looking to raise capital if I can, and if there are some businesses who are supporting in a partnership, how I can engage, how my logo can be in the bottom. I'm looking to raise capital as well. I'll try to reach out. Perhaps my organization's logo can be in the bottom as well, and I don't need to publish any of accounts, how much money I made together, and all of those kind of good things, right? Which is great as well. And then accounts not won't be reflecting perhaps how much money was paid to for having access to a logo and Sports of England, which is great. I can't find all that information. I think the number should be way, way, way higher. But either way, that's myself looking into this, right? That's right, guys. Let's take a look at funding opportunities within and all how we can secure a partnership with Sports of England. Let's begin by taking a look at finances, right? So that's a word that I cannot say, otherwise the CEO would be highlighted. The sports and physical activity sector hard, and we know things have been tough. So we modify our funding streams to align with the goals of uniting and movement strategy and help people safely return to play and or place impact the most. People safely return to play in the places impacted the most. Playing, I don't know. There's some, for example, in fitness industry, there's some people who just to break even, they had to had at least 12 or 16 clients, right, based on the location where they might be living. In the city centers, depending in London, they'll perhaps even higher, right? Depending, right? So it's 16 just to break even, and based on health advice, some people had a chance of working, right? Play, perhaps that's another playful way of taking a look at it, right? We can take a look at funding, right? I know how we can reach out to this organization in order to secure funding, and or a long-term strategy would be securing partnership, right? We can take a look at some of the funding opportunities and or expressing our interest in some open calls if there are any. Most likely, we're gonna be something that I was already taking a look at other funding options. So I'm gonna be looking to engage and see how we can work with other funding options, as well as evaluation frameworks. So they have a process in place, frequently asked questions, and a claim and conciliation forms. Right. I'm not entirely sure, but the most likely you might need to have your own capital, you spend it, and then you can claim all that money back. That might be a case. I haven't read it yet, right? That might be a case. Either way, each year we invest more than 250 million of national lottery public money to help people play sports and take part in physical activity. So the budget that most likely we're gonna be taking a look at is gonna be 250, right? So operational cost of this organization, it's about 300, so to say. Would that mean 300? So that would be equal to what this organization entire budget is. So to say, well, it's something that this organization is working with. I think that's was the case, right? So operational cost would be about 300, and they would have a budget of 250. Okay, okay. If you would ask me, I think it's entire budget's way higher. We're talking about billions and billions. If you would ask me, but this is what they are saying according to Powell's accounts, right? We know that applying for one of our funds for the first time can seem a little daunting, but here there's a guide. You to suitable appropriate funds and explain exactly what you need to do. Great. Let's take a look at it. There's two options, right? Let's take a look at those. $600 they can look at yesterday, right? Sometimes they would raise different events, right? Or have access to funds where they're gonna be allocating some finance. Example of that would be perhaps Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, right? So they might have similar events, and or you, myself, or anyone can perhaps take part and organize similar events. Not necessarily if they already allocated a big portion of that money at the time 2022, right? 2 years ago, so I say. Not necessarily that's something that they're gonna do in the near future, right? Perhaps within the next so 2022, so perhaps in 4 years, 2026. So perhaps everything can set in motion now and organize another event similar to something that was accomplished within Birmingham area. Perhaps 2 years to organize the event, would that be enough? I wouldn't, I wasn't gonna go too much into detail. Perhaps, if not entire event, perhaps some programs during event. Even that would be perhaps an option. If anything, small grant programs is something I was taking a look at yesterday. I think within that they would be looking for non-profits, right? So supporting those, not necessary. Active Together, there's another that would be crowdfunding and some percentage. So out of the 100, they might look for you to source some percentage out of the crowd. So the additional funding would be required. So that's two options available. That would be other funding options. Most likely, that's most optimal, my personal opinion, right? So that's most likely the way how I'm going to be looking to engage with the team. And from there, perhaps legacy funds. I haven't read those. There might be some opportunities when it comes to legacy, but again, there might be some opportunities there. If anything, there's a contact information for people who are interested, right? I have reached out to this team. I think it was afternoon yesterday where I was reading all of that information. So let's see how we can engage with the team, right? And there's another way of receiving funding that will place and space fund. Okay, okay, okay. But I haven't read it, but it says in match funding, so perhaps that would be 50-50, right? So if you're looking to secure 10,000 or 5,000 would need to come from your own funds, and another five they would match it, right? Great opportunities are available up there. Most likely, I would be looking to engage with this team. I'm looking, so as I mentioned previously, right? Same issues, right? First being structure of a company, or most likely it would only work if it's non-profit. From there, progressing into, I would be looking for 100%, right? Not necessarily 50, 10, 15, 100%, right? So those points, right? I can those points, right? The third one, perhaps they were looking to allocate a large percentage of those funds. I don't know all the details, right? Even if I was doing or been trying to engage with local communities in securing partnerships, right? And they would be this fund is we're looking to allocate into buildings, right? Again, investing in local communities and into buildings, facilities, playgrounds, so those areas, right? The places and spaces fund. And again, this is not necessarily would reflect on the balance sheet. That's what's happening. It's not on the balance sheet. But then we take a look at 7 million, perhaps only 7 million, not necessary. Then it would reflect on the local council balance sheet, perhaps. Either way, let's forget. Quickly, right? Let's break it down other ways to generate funding, right? Let's try to understand it, what this opportunity is all about, and from there we can perhaps progress into the one more way of engaging with the team and establishing perhaps partnership and how we can potentially work together with the team, right? That would be open funds won't always match what you are looking for, so we are compiled a list of all other ways you can generate funding from crowdfunding to gift aid. Okay, okay. Myself, what I'm looking for is a problem, right? The problem. Once I find the problem, I can solve that problem and just looking to reduce risk. So if I need to hire people and those people need to do something for 4 years free of charge, I'd rather have those finances available where people can cover, to say the least, living expenses, right? depending on what how big of a problem we were to look to tackle, and how much of the impact we can make, right? Either way, it doesn't really matter. There's the people there. They've been funded by my tax money, and they will make a decision if to allocate finances or not. Those people will make a decision. That's really matter, in my opinion. I don't know. So it won't be a waste of time quickly, right? Why consider alternative sources of funding? We welcome funding applications for organizations big or small, working to help people get more active. And you can apply for one of our funds. However, we expected to see how you already tried to raise money in other ways. I mean, raising crowdfunders, I could do those, but I mean, if that's a part of requirements, I could raise some projects. It just might be a time waster, but either way, it's very rare that we will consider the entire cost of the project. Again, it's essential you can contribute the cost via other methods, right? So I see this system and why they would develop this system in this particular way. I do understand it. Having community backing or local partners supporting your projects will also make the case for investment stronger. This is the section we explain some of the different types of funding available to you. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published a course. So within this course, I'm taking a look at 12 different points, and I'm looking to cover personal development basics when it comes to establishing skills, operating, I would say business, but not necessarily that would cover everything. It would share some understanding of what will be required, but not necessarily that will cover it within just over an hour, of course. Not necessarily will cover everything. We can introduce to some of the points and what will be important for people to understand, right? As well as I have published this course in a number of different formats, including video format, if it's something yourself you're interested in. Or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If not, there's going to be a QR code in the corner company's website below. I have already reached out. I think I see something there. There might be separate body that all the buildings belong to, right? There might be separate body, all those details, right? Not necessarily that would land on the Sports England balance sheet if it's separate company again. They would lease you building for 99 years or something. And there's a lot of trickery perhaps going on. I don't know all the details, right? And then they can purchase that building back into community. The community would hold it for a bit. I don't know all the details. It's a waste of time either way. And then they would be looking to introduce something that's called community shares. Okay. I don't know. It might be a waste of time. Depending on there's some things going on, right? As of now, I haven't chat to the team. Let's see how we can do it, right? If so. Locally, right? So I can close perhaps on an example, right? So there's not far from where I am right now. There's a stadium, right, where people can play rugby, different activities, right? I have reached out to private business, local private businesses who own the stadium, which is kind of interesting, right? And they have told me the prices of having access to that stadium for an hour. Massive prices, if you would ask me, right? Massive. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? There's massive prices, right? Or myself, I'm just coming in, and I would like to, if I would like to organize everything within that stadium, right? How I would be able to receive finance to build some activities, start a group. We can, if women need to get more active, we can take a look at that. We can take a look at different communities. We can get them involved. It doesn't matter, right? So how I can receive finance to fund this or similar activity, and perhaps that private business can pay that finance in taxes back into, I don't know how the finances would work. But as of now, some of those assets have been overpriced, and I would be looking to secure finance. Thanks for watching. See you next one.